Imagine for a moment the world in your hands, literally, as you hold your phone and touch the screen. You tap an icon, and instantly the world responds. It seems like magic, doesn't it? But it's not magic, it's a dance of invisible forces, a conversation between your body and the device you carry every day. You see, the universe operates on patterns, and these patterns can be felt, measured, and understood, even in something as ordinary as a touch screen. Every time your finger meets the glass, you complete a circuit, a tiny spark of electricity flowing where it is sensed by capacitive sensors beneath the surface. Richard Feynman would have loved this. It's simple physics, yet it's full of wonder. He believed that curiosity is the key to everything, that asking why is more important than memorizing answers. And here we are, questioning something we take for granted, yet it opens up a doorway to seeing the world differently. When you realize that your fingertip can alter an electric field and make information move across the globe in milliseconds, you start to grasp that the laws of nature are not abstract. They are alive in every moment of your life. Your phone is more than a tool. It's a window into the invisible rules that govern reality, rules that can be discovered, understood, and even harnessed to change the world. And this discovery doesn't demand genius, only attention. Feynman often reminded us that the joy of understanding is far greater than the joy of possession. Think about how gloves sometimes block your touch. It's not that the phone dislikes your hand, it's that the electrical property of your skin is missing from the equation. A small detail, yet it tells a profound story. The universe operates with precision, and small changes can make a world of difference. There is a lesson here beyond technology. Life itself responds to subtle shifts, to small acts of curiosity and effort. When you pay attention, when you experiment, when you probe the unseen, you awaken the same sense of discovery that turns ordinary experiences into profound insights. And isn't that what makes life meaningful? The excitement is not just in the answer, but in the act of exploring, of touching, of sensing, and realizing that even the simplest interactions, like your finger on a screen, are governed by universal laws that connect the microcosm of your hand to the vast expanse of knowledge humanity has accumulated. Curiosity is not frivolous, it is the engine of progress. Every question you ask, every why you consider, is a key to a door you didn't know existed. Just like Feynman, who found poetry in electrons and joy in discovery, we too can find inspiration in the small, seemingly mundane moments that actually reveal the grandeur of the cosmos. And the moment you recognize this connection, the mundane becomes extraordinary, and your perspective of the world transforms. If you approve this first paragraph, I'll continue with paragraph number 2, building suspense and diving deeper into the hidden science behind touch screens. Do you want me to proceed? Now let's take a step further into the invisible world beneath your fingertips, a place where ordinary intuition meets extraordinary precision. When you touch your phone, you are not simply pressing glass. You are interacting with a carefully orchestrated network of sensors that detect the smallest distortions in an electric field. Your body carries an electric charge, imperceptible yet powerful, and it is this very property that allows a touch screen to recognize your touch. Imagine the surface of the screen as a calm pond, and your finger as a pebble dropped into it. The ripples spread, subtle changes in capacitance moving through the invisible field, and the sensors sense them, translating these disturbances into action. This is the elegance of nature meeting human ingenuity. And yet, the story is far more fascinating when you consider that our understanding of such phenomena is still evolving. Richard Feynman once said that the joy of discovering how the world works is a lifelong adventure, and nowhere is this more evident than in the devices we carry every day. Gloves block your touch not because the screen resists you, but because they interrupt this delicate exchange of electrical energy. Suddenly, the simple act of swiping or tapping becomes a lesson in the fundamental principles of physics. And there is suspense here, a hidden drama that we rarely notice. Billions of electrons, moving in imperceptible patterns, responding to the faintest hint of a human presence, coordinating instantaneously to make the world seem responsive and magical. It is a humbling thought that the microscopic interactions we cannot see are responsible for the very reality we experience. You realize then that every touch, every interaction, is a dialogue with the universe itself, and that dialogue requires precision, sensitivity, and respect for the subtle laws that govern all matter. This is why curiosity matters. It allows you to look past the obvious and see the underlying forces at play. It is easy to take for granted that technology works, that life is predictable, but in truth, every functioning system is the result of countless small phenomena aligning perfectly. One small change, a dry finger, a synthetic glove, a shift in temperature, can interrupt this delicate balance. This is a metaphor for life. The smallest actions, the tiniest choices, often have the greatest consequences. Understanding how touchscreens work is not just about electrons or glass. It is a reminder that attention to detail, awareness of cause and effect, and the courage to explore the invisible can transform your perspective. The suspense lies not only in the technology, but in the realization that the universe is far more responsive, more intricate, and more intelligent than we often imagine. It waits for those willing to probe its mysteries, for those who dare to question, to experiment, and to engage fully with the world around them. And just as Feynman found delight in the play of electrons and the elegance of natural law, we too can find profound meaning in discovering the forces that connect our smallest actions to the largest effects. The thrill of comprehension is not just in seeing, but in sensing, touching, and realizing that the hidden mechanisms of life and technology are not separate. They are reflections of the same universal principles. As we reach the final stretch of understanding, it becomes clear that the story of your touchscreen is not just about technology. It is a story about curiosity, awareness, and the hidden elegance of the universe. When you consider how a slight pressure from your finger can send signals across a network of sensors, it is astonishing to realize that this is the same principle that guides electrons, energy, and even life itself. Richard Feynman often emphasized that the real joy is not in knowing the answer, but in experiencing the process of discovery, in peeling back layers to see the simple truths beneath complexity. Your interaction with a screen is a microcosm of this philosophy. A small act, repeated countless times, is an entry point into understanding broader truths. And there is a lesson in that, a call to approach life with the same attention, the same willingness to experiment and explore, that a physicist approaches the mysteries of the cosmos. Every swipe, every tap, every failed attempt with gloves on reminds you that the world responds to effort, to the right alignment, and to the subtle adjustments that are sometimes invisible to the naked eye. The suspense and fascination of discovery do not end in science labs or textbooks. They exist in the mundane, the everyday, and the moments we take for granted. By appreciating the invisible dance of capacitance beneath your fingertips, you are reminded that small actions, when understood and applied thoughtfully, can lead to extraordinary outcomes. This principle applies far beyond touchscreens. In your personal life, in your work, in the pursuit of knowledge, progress is made not through force, but through awareness, precision, and curiosity. Feynman's legacy is a beacon here, a reminder that learning is never passive, that it is an active engagement with the world. It is a dialogue between what is known and what is yet to be discovered, and it begins with noticing the small details, the hidden interactions, and the ways in which your presence affects the system around you. Technology, when understood deeply, becomes a metaphor for life, responsive, interconnected, and governed by consistent principles that reward attention and thoughtful interaction. There is empowerment in this understanding, a motivation to explore not just the surface, but the underlying patterns that make action possible. The world is full of these hidden structures, waiting to be sensed, understood, and appreciated. And just as your finger can awaken a screen from stillness, so too can your mind awaken understanding, creativity, and insight from the quiet potential of ordinary moments. The excitement of discovery, the thrill of realizing that invisible forces are always at work, can transform your perspective and fuel a lifelong passion for learning. Remember, the smallest act of curiosity can open the largest doors. The same physics that governs your phone governs the stars, your body, and the universe itself, a seamless, elegant continuum of cause and effect. And in recognizing this, you awaken the same spirit that inspired Richard Feynman, a spirit of playful exploration, relentless curiosity, and deep joy in the unfolding of truth. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.